Hello and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. Today I'm going to give you a tour of my fish room, which is in an apartment on the 5th floor. I have 16 aquariums, and this is not only a fish room, but it's also an office where I do all of my work. So I get to work, but also enjoy my fish at the same time. I have two aquariums next to my desk, a 5-gallon cube as well as a 12-gallon long, and I've made some videos about those, so if you would like to see how I set them up, be sure to check those out. The 12-gallon long used to be a Betta bahachiensis tank, which is a type of wild betta, but recently I changed up the new inhabitants and I would like to show them to you in the future. The 5-gallon has some nice little cute amber tetras, so if you want to see them more, definitely check out the video about them. The main rack that I have in my fish room houses majority of my tanks, and these are all of the dimensions as well as the shelving that I use. The 55-gallon aquarium over here is my biggest tank, and it is a little scratched up because I did get it for free and it was used, but I still really love it. The fish that are in here are my favorite fish, and I raised them from babies all into these really beautiful, magnificent, and colorful fish. I don't really make a lot of videos on them, but every time you do see me in a video, you oftentimes will see them in the background. They're beautiful and I really love them. Below we have two 20 gallons. One is a long and the other one is a tall. Now these tanks rotate and change all the time because I'm bringing in different species to breed or grow out. And currently I have some Neolamprologus brevis. The version is the Sunspot. I just call them the version. I guess we'll stick with that, but they have these beautiful yellow splotches that appear on their tummies when they are in the mood to breed on top of their beautiful stripes. They breed in shells, so they are shell dwellers. Their faces are a little squishy, so they could look kind of like little bulldogs, which is cute. And of course, we've got lots and lots of babies in here. Right next door is a nice little colony of fish that I really love, that you might have seen in a previous video where I unboxed and reviewed a filter, and these are the Chalinochromis. They're very cute, and I have a couple different varieties of very similar looking fish, so you'll see some other fish that look kind of similar to them but different in the other tanks. And what I like about these fish is they kind of look like dolphins. They remind me of dolphins, and they're kind of funny in the way they will look at you and swim around, so they're super interesting and fun fish to keep as well as spawn. Over here we have the rest of my rack. We'll start off with the two 10 gallons, which are at the top. We have a shrimp slash endler slash betta tank, which is a 10 gallon. And then on the other side, we have a little mystery tank whose inhabitants I will show you, but not yet. So this is one of the male runts that I actually kept from my bucket spawn. He was jarred for quite a while. I decided to let him live in the 10 gallon and he really loves it. Then in the middle, there's some tanks that I've made quite a lot of videos about, and the tanks on the bottom rotate all the time. So we have the female sibling betta sorority tank as well as the male betta community tank. I've made a lot of videos on those particular tanks, so if you want to see more, if you want to see this particular lovely tiger giant koi male, you definitely will be able to enjoy him in the previous videos. I will link them down in the comments below. He's super fun. I really love him. I haven't given him a name yet. I can't really decide. He's just so awesome. This bottom portion of my fish room seems to change the most as I use this for breeding, quarantine, as well as grow outs. Recently, I introduced you to the Nneolamprologus Ocellatus blue, which I very recently acquired, and they're going through their quarantine, and I'm very excited about them. So if you want to check them out, be sure to watch that video. I also have a pair of Julidochromis regani, and there's a male and female pair. They're a bonded pair, and they've spent a lot of time breeding for me. Even though I've BAP'd them already, I still want to keep them. I kind of got emotionally attached to this couple. And then I have some of these Julidochromis dickfeldi as well, and these are juveniles who are growing out. Then we have the closet, because of course I had to put some tanks in the closet. You got to maximize all your space if you want to have a little fish room in a little tiny room, right? So up here we've got a couple tanks, and then at the very top, boom, we've got some of the betta grow out jars. I don't seem to show this tank very often, but this is a breeding tank for not only guppies, but it also has shrimp as well as my Bristlenose plecostomus. It is a very simple tank. It's just got a bunch of driftwood and just moss. Tons and tons of moss everywhere, which makes it look kind of interesting, but also a great place to breed. And then on that side, we have the 3-gallon with the Tancho male Betta. You might have seen him in my previous video. He is also from the same spawn and the brother to the male you saw previously. He has that beautiful pattern where he has that spot on top of his head. And while he has been marbling and changing just a little bit, for the most part, his pattern has been pretty consistent. Many of you have been asking me on an update on him, so there it is. There is your update. He's doing great and his colors are looking really, really lovely. Let's take a closer look at the guppies. I don't know why, I never really show them in videos, but I do have some guppies that I'm breeding just for fun. I don't know if I want to keep them long term because albino guppies are a bit sensitive to light. Luckily, this is a tank that it has very low light, which the moss and the guppy grass seem to be totally fine with, and it doesn't hurt their eyes, but they're beautiful as well. Then we have the Ocellatus Gold, a different variety, but I really, really love them. And if I had to pick my favorite fish, these would be my favorite fish. I have some really fun videos on them if you want to see Daniel get bit because they're super aggressive. Definitely check out those videos because these fish will fight you. Oh yes, and they'll totally win too. They're small, but they're brave and fierce. The bottom of my closet rack, we have some more shellies, but this time these guys are much more peaceful. These are the Neolamprologus multifasciatus, also known as multis. And if you ever wanted to keep your very own shell dwellers and were a little too intimidated by all the other varieties, these are really, really great. They're very peaceful, so they will not try to murder you or any other tank mates. They're really great at breeding, so you can start your own colony. If you look very closely, they've got a little bit of blue in their eyes, which I think looks really, really pretty. They have some really nice spots, and they do have a tiny bit of yellow on their fins as well. So from far away, they may not look too fancy, but up close, they're actually quite lovely, peaceful shell-dwelling fish. They love to dig. They're always changing things around in their aquarium, so they are super fun to observe. They will even carry shells around from the little trumpet snails and pile them up in a little pile, which I think is super, super cute. They're really lovely fish, and I highly recommend them. So this is my little fish room. I really love it. I know it's not the biggest fish room, but it's really cozy, and it's a great place to keep all of my fish. So thank you for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out future videos, and go ahead and check out all the other videos I may have mentioned if you have not seen them already. Of course, we're going to mention Banana over here. She is my border collie female rescue. She's super cute, and I wanted to include her at the end doing her cute little tricks, even though she's a little shy girl. But thank you for watching my video, and I hope that you have a lovely day.